Welcome everyone. Hi there, Jody. I'm getting a bit of feedback on the sound for some reason. I'm not sure what that is, but I might have to just adjust my sound. I think it's coming through on this camera. Just give me one moment. It's the first time I've done a dual camera thing, so there we go. Just so I can't hear myself. So welcome everyone. Hopefully the sound's a little bit better now. So I've just set up a dual camera system this time. It's the first time I've been able to do it. I'm not into live streaming that often. But when I do a live stream, I like to have other options, should I say. So I've just set up this camera here as well. You can probably just see the shot is here. Just to put on my rainbow tank, because a lot of people say they'd like to look at the tank when I'm on live streams. So I've just decided I'll just set up a camera so you can see what's going on in there too. As you can see, I've got the rainbow fish there. So there's Bozeman eye. If you look at the right hand side of the or Bozeman, some people call them. Sort of scattered around. I think there's 5 males in there. And then if you just look at the top of the screen there as well, we've got some red rainbows. JDP saying, is it good evening to you? I remember the time difference. Yeah, it's actually lunchtime, so 12 p.m. Lunchtime. But yeah, it's a bit of a time difference. Where you at, Jody? I'm assuming the States maybe, or Australia. Yeah, there'll be a bit of a time difference. I've got the day off work today, so I'm just going to do a bit of a live stream. I've got a video getting uploaded on Sunday morning as well. Sunday morning my time. Iowa, yeah. So US, yeah. There's a bit of a time difference, depending on what states you're from. Yeah, the States. It's a place I've been a few times, mainly holidays to. I've been to Florida and the southern states mainly for holidays, but I'm hoping to visit again. I'd like to go to Seattle. I want to check that out. Maybe some parts of Chicago and other places as well. I'm gonna have to. I want to go to the Aquarium Corp shop on the expansion. That'd be awesome. So hopefully I'll get to visit there at some point. That'd be pretty nice. Some other states as well. I'd like to look at Texas maybe. I like the countryside. The American countryside is really nice. I've done some of the cities. I've been to Miami in Florida and obviously Disneyland and other places that way, but never been to the rest of it, which is a bit of a shame. It's a big country, so there's a lot to explore. I'm just getting text messages as well because I'm using my phone to do the second camera, so the rainbow fish tank. So I'm getting like texts as well. If I sound a bit sort of hoarse and weird today, I'm suffering with I've got a severe case of man flu. So I'm about to admit myself to hospital, I think. I've been in bed for a couple of days. I've been eating like paracetamols and stuff like that to try and keep my temperature down. I've been at home for a few days, so I'm a little bit bored. Kind of thought, what shall I get up to? So I thought I'd make a live stream. How are we doing, Jesse? Nice to see you in the chats there. I've been keeping up with your channel as well, Jesse. With me being off work, I've been sort of watching some of your videos. I've been catching up a little bit with stuff that I haven't been able to watch with work and things. It's been a bit difficult. And one of us, I don't know if you've seen on videos, we've got 2 kittens as well. They're my partner's little kittens. And one of them's got like an underlying condition that we didn't know about. And we've been going back and forth to the city to go to the vets. So the vets that used to be where in the town where I live is actually shut down now. So we have to go out of town to the nearest city to get help with any animal care or things like that. So we've been going sort of in the morning before they open. And then we've been leaving the cats there in the daytime hospital. And then we've had to go back on an evening to pick up the cat to take to the nighttime hospital, which is in the same city. So I've been really busy at the moment, and my partner's got work as well. And obviously, I've been sick and off work, which is very unusual for me because I'm not usually sick enough like this to be off work. But this one's really kicked me down. But yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Yeah, it's Jesse just saying Kitty Troubles, understand that. Not cheap. The vets, hell no. I mean, you go in there for like 20 minutes and it's like £800. You know, you're talking $1,000 within 20 minutes of being there. It's crazy money. And if they have to do any work as well, so he's been neutered. He's had an operation because he had a blocked bowel. So it's basically his bowel had blocked. Not his bowel, his urine or whatever that is, it'd been blocked, so it caused some kidney damage, and it was sort of touch and go for a little bit. They're on about maybe having to put him down, which we didn't want to happen. Obviously, my partner were really upset about it, but it turned out that they managed to be able. They figured out getting rid of the blockage, which has opened his bladder up again, and they put him on loads of liquids, so that's cleared out his kidneys a little bit, but because he's got this underlying condition as well. Unfortunately, now we have to sort of take care of him and watch him at home, and it sort of anything could happen in the next year or two. But we're just going to keep him home anyway, keep him happy. He's on a strict diet now. I'm not sure where he is, and probably get him on camera later on when he comes back around. So just saying, do you guys have the drink Body Armor super hydration drink? And they are good. No, I don't think we do actually. We don't have that. Could do with it though right now, to be honest, Jesse. I've been drinking we've got one of them big Samson. We call them, well, people from the UK call them American fridges. I'm assuming you guys just call them fridges, but we have the big American fridge with the water filter thing on. So I've been giving that some workouts, and I've just been drinking loads and loads of water. Trying to flush my own body out and try and get better again. I'm still feeling a little bit ropey, but I think I'll make it through today's live. And JP just saying, sorry to hear that. Really hope it pulls through. Yeah, me too. It's not even a year old yet, so we got them as really small baby kittens. They were on a farm, and the parent cats to the ones we've got were sort of wild. They were living in the barn and things, and they had a litter of cats. Most of them went, and we actually went just to get one, which was the one that got poorly. But there were another one sort of left behind, and me and my partner are kind of animal people, so we couldn't leave the last one behind. So we ended up taking both of them home. So we've got two. We've got Bo and Gus, but they're awesome. Yeah, they're pretty good cats. Jesse just says he's got 3 big dogs, 1 cat, 2 birds, and of course the fish, and a lot of fish at that. Jesse. But yeah, pets not Pete. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, Jesse's got an awesome fish room, really good fish room. I mean, I've been watching, and some of them shots just crack me up. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's got a real good fish room. I'm thinking about shutting some of my fish room down. This is an exclusive first as well for you guys. I'm going to shut my fish room down and rethink it. So I've got a tank of rainbows. I think there's about 100 in there. They're going on Monday. So I'm selling them to a wholesaler on Monday. And then I've been sort of closing tanks down slowly. You won't have been seeing it much because I've been on with the Angelfish Breeding Project on my videos, but slowly I've been shutting down tanks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty them all out, reconfigure the shelving, and maybe put in some auto water change system, because I'm sick of carrying buckets. And I've got a Python system and I use a pump to move my water around, but I just feel like it's time now. I've been doing the fish room for 2 years now and the YouTube channel for a year. And I think auto water change is the way forward for me. And I think it's just time to upgrade the fish room a little bit. Also, some of the tanks that I've got are a little too small for breeding. I wanted to sort of take out the smaller tanks and move on to getting some maybe 40 breeders, some 4-foot tanks in there, just so I can breed a different variety of fish. I'm wanting to do some African cichlids South American cichlids hopefully coming along in the future. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That's gonna be a good little process, because I have kept Africans and I've got the Oscars. That's really all I've done with South American fish, but I'm hoping that I can get some more South American fish going on. I won't mind getting some nice size bigger fish. So Jody's just saying, yeah, I bet you would. About keeping, yeah. So Jody was saying about being a pet sitter for Jessie there, and she's and saying, I bet you would. Yeah, I'm just a bit slow today with the man flu. I'm feeling sorry for myself. Yeah, I'm shutting down the fish room for a spring fin cleanup and revamp. Yep, I think it's time to move on. I've been doing the little fish for a long time now, so I've been doing the micro cichlids for a number of years, as you've probably seen on my videos. And I'm feeling I want to do some South American cichlids. I want to do some acaras for sure. There's quite a few fish that I've been looking at. I've actually got the ghost knife in the rainbows at the minute. It's a bit of a mad mix in there. So I've got the rainbows, they're kind of mid-water, and then I've got the plecos. I've got clown plecos in there. Can't remember what else. I've got the albino pleco, common one. I like the bristle nose, and just some brown chocolate type of colour ones, just common bristle nose. And they're looking pretty nice, actually. I were up in the clowns and breed and maybe mixed breed of them, but we'll see what I get out of them. But there's a couple of angelfish in this tank, and any sort of fry in there, they kind of pick them off before I get a chance to see them usually, especially if it's an evening. So it's quite a problem for trying to keep the fry alive in this tank, and because it's such a big tank as well, it's quite difficult to get the fish out of there. Like you have to get a big net and just try and scoop along everywhere with the glass and stuff. Let's have a look at some of the comments anyway. So just saying, Horizon, I'm going to need you to drink a Red Bull and come back, restart stream once again. So I've got my wings. Yeah, I'm feeling sorry for myself. It's not good. I'm never like this as well. I've been sort of sat around, and then I'm obviously, because I'm a dude, I was playing massive amounts of GTA and Call of Duty online. Like my Xbox were on fire for like 3 days because I had no energy, so I was just eating and playing GTA and Call of Duty like massively to the point where I became addicted to it. Yeah, you have more pets than me. I've had a stepson and a work friend help me get over the 300, but it took me all day. Yeah, it's a pain with the. Yeah, you'll have to join us, Jesse. I'm not very good on it, I must admit. I've been playing the. It's like Warzone type of thing. I'm not really up on it. My son plays it more than I do. But it's been recently his birthday, so we bought him a Series X or Xbox Series X, whatever, like the upgrade to his. So he gave me his Xbox just to put down in the living room here. So I just thought, yeah, why not? I've had a few games on there. So I'm not brilliant at it, but I did all right, I think. I got a few kills in, a few airstrikes. You know, it is. I find it much harder to play. Like I used to play a lot of gaming when it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That was my game. Like 10th Prestige, and I was pretty badass at that game. But this new one's just so fast. I mean, by the time I've even done anything, I'm dead. Yeah, I get pissed at it too, man. It's hard. So Jay's just saying, I have my mum and brother-in-law. My mum what do with fish. Yeah, so we've got people in this house. My partner's actually got 3 fish tanks in here. I don't know if you might not be able to see. I might show it on camera a little later on. She's got 3 better tanks. She were into fish, but never kept them. And then she just wanted some fish tanks. And then all of a sudden, when I got into the hobby, she got more into it with me. So I've got the big tank here. I've got one at the other side of the TV as well. That's just my back to basics guppy tank that you should have watched the video on. And also I've got the fish room, which you guys have probably seen plenty of over the past year or two. I'm looking to do a new project. I'm I'm not. I need to get into something else. You know, when you get kind of stalled with the projects that you're doing, I'm doing that at the moment. So I'm looking for something new to do. So this revamp of the fish room is probably going to be the start of it. Obviously, as well with the heater blowing up on my angelfish fry, that really put a downer on my fish room, and it was like So I'm basically going to take all the Chinesium heaters out of there. But I'm doing it one by one because to replace the Chinesium heaters, which were like $20 or whatever, to replace them with like Eheim ones or the more expensive brands, it costs a lot of money. Obviously, with having the better brands, it comes at a bigger price. So that's what I'm looking into now. But yeah, it's going pretty well. I've got the German blue rams I've been on hold with a little bit. They have been spawning in the tanks, but I've just sort of been leaving them to it a little bit and not pulling the eggs like I used to do. The wholesalers are nagging me a little bit for the rams. I just needed a little break from the rams, so that's why I ended up buying the angelfish pair, which have spawned for me probably 30 times in the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks that I've had them. I've actually got another spawn in some methylene blue at the minute that they'd spawned, I don't know, maybe yesterday or the day before. They look to be fungusing up a little bit, which I'm not overly pleased with because I've been waiting, doing massive water changes and trying to keep the water right in there with the angelfish fry. Sorry for the coughing, guys. The more I talk, the worse it gets. So I've got the tickly cough going on. Well, check out some of the comments anyway. I'm a competitive person. I get pissed when I lose sometimes. Was worse when I was younger. Yeah, I was definitely that guy, like major rage quitter. If someone killed me, like, especially if you're on like a bit of a spree and you've got like 10 down and then someone just comes in and guns you down from behind, that's really annoying. But then with the new Call of Duty as well, you have to, like, you know, the parachuting in bit. I think it's Resurgence I play. I think that's what it's called. The bit where you parachute in. So on the last couple of games that I had over the last couple of days, I couldn't even get on the ground before I was dead. Like, they were just shooting me out of the sky on the way down, which were really annoying. But yeah, I've been playing it pretty hardcore. Let's check out some of these comments. So Jody just saying, laugh out loud, just say we are home the majority of the time. My mum was in Florida in the winter. That's a good move. Because if I were in the States, if I lived anywhere north of the United States, I'd definitely be going to Florida in the winter. Because you guys have got like all weathers as well. You've got like the -40 in the north to +40 in the south, which is crazy. How are we doing, Rob? So just saying, hi Dave, hope you're well. I'm good. I'm not well. I've got man flu quite badly. I've been off work for a few days now. Getting bored, so I thought I'd check in with you guys on this live stream. And hopefully all you guys are doing far better than me. But I need to, like, I don't know. Like Jesse says, I need to get a Red Bull and reset the stream because I'm struggling a little bit. But yeah, it's nice to see you all in the chats, guys. Really appreciate that. Getting me some watch time in and catching up with you guys as well is awesome. Because it's very hard for me because I prefer to do more video and edits. To speak with you guys like this more direct is awesome. I really like doing the live streams. I just find that I don't get many people in, and the people that sort of do join, so the people that I want to join are usually unavailable. So it's nice to see like you guys in because you guys are the ones I want to join most of the time and see you guys in the chats because then I get a chance to speak to you, which is awesome. But sometimes I get people in that are just sort of random on the channel, you know, like people that aren't subscribers that I don't speak to that much in the comment sections and stuff. I think it's the format of streaming as well. I think if you do like the vertical streaming, it just broadcasts to anyone. I think if you do it this way, the horizontal streaming, it comes more from my subscribers, which I prefer, to be fair. You usually get randomers in sort of saying stuff that you don't really need. But yeah. So yeah. So what are you guys up to? What time is it where you live? What's going on? What's the plan for today? I'm assuming it's morning for Jesse and Jodie. And obviously, Rob, I think you're on the same time scale as me. Rob's just saying, hopefully the pills work. Yeah, well, I've been eating paracetamols. I think I've gone through like 3 boxes in 3 days. It's a really weird cold though this time. I've got like the cough and stuff, and my throat's really sore. I've got a bit of a temperature, so I keep getting like these cold and hot sweats, and it's not good. And then this sort of like headache right behind my eyes. I just feel right drained and a bit sort of sleepy, but I just need something to do. I hate being stuck in the house because I'm self-employed and I've got my own business. I'm used to being on the go all the time. Even if I'm not at work, I'm doing quotes. And if I'm not doing quotes, I'm pricing other things up, materials and whatever. And because I'm sort of out of action, I haven't really got any of them things to do, which is making me really bored. So, plus I've got like ADHD, if you haven't noticed already, but I've got ADHD, so I always want to be active and moving around and just doing anything. Really, that's what I like to be doing. So, Jay's saying mostly business work today, taking care of the new chicks. Very good. That's awesome. Fish room stuff, which is always a bonus, and maybe even starting seeds. Sounds like a good day, a very productive day. I was thinking about doing some vegetables this year. Actually, I did some chilies and some peppers last year. They didn't really turn out as good as I wanted to do. I think I planted them too late in the year. So where I am in England in the north, it's kind of temperate weather, but it's kind of cold as well. We get quite bad winters, and they can last for months basically. So we start getting cold weather in September, and then it didn't really go away until sort of April, March. You know, it's sort of starting to get a little bit warmer now, but we've had frost for the last 3 nights, and it's been like, I don't know, I think yesterday were like 18 degrees, so that's pretty warm for this time of year. Today is more like 10, which is about average for this time of year, but it's been a long winter this year. I'm into sort of fishing as well, so I go fishing quite a bit. But obviously with the weather, I go carp fishing, so the weather's got to be good for that kind of stuff. Just saying I need to win the lottery, as do we all. I'd love a nice little lottery win. About 6 million I'd do, I think, for a little while. And build one continuous aquarium all around my garage walls, and then one big one in the center. Do you know, I actually contacted a glass supplier for some hardened glass. I've been watching, I can't remember the guy's name now, Aquarium Adventures maybe. He's got like a discus, an orange discus as his logo on his YouTube channel. I think he's Scottish. He's been building these wooden tanks with like a glass front. And I thought that would be a really nice idea for the fish room to do, like one end, if I cut one end off and then built the tank into the structure sort of thing. And I was thinking, with my experience doing tiling, I could actually tile it inside of it. And I was thinking about getting some like massive South American cichlids in there, to be honest, and making like a big sort of planted area and see what I could do with that. Like a bit of a Florida, what's it called now, mangrove type of deal. With some fish in there. That'd be pretty cool. Rob saying coffee and a workout, always a good medicine. Well, I actually went for a walk yesterday because it was such a nice day. And we've got a lake that's quite close to us. Well, it's like behind my house. So I went just for a walk around the lake there and just checking out the wildlife and whatever. It was a pretty nice walk. And that was the first time I've been out for like 4 days. So it was pretty good. And I took like a little camping stove and some food, and I made like some dinner out there and just like a bit of a rucksack and whatever. Pretty nice. Where are we at now? Yeah, so Jesse just saying, and then you can keep pacus. I'd love an arowanas. That is my dream. That to have that. I'd love, Jesse, if I could build like an outdoor kind of pool thing, but all like not all glass. If it were like a corner one, but then 2 sides glass, I'd have to enclose it because the winters are too cold. That'd be pretty nice. I'd love to keep some Arawans and some Pacus. I don't know if you guys watch that Bass Fishing Productions. He's got like he goes like finding fish around Florida and puts them in like ponds and stuff at home. His channel's pretty good for the big fish. He's got red tail catfish and all sorts in there. So Jody's just saying we can't start anything outside until late May without risk of frost. Yeah, it's pretty similar where I'm in the UK. I mean, you're pretty sort of, is it northeast where you live in the States? So you'll have similar temperatures to where we are in UK, I think. We're on the similar level on the equator, I think. We're the same distance away to the UK. So yeah, it's pretty cold. I don't really grow much outside, but I've got like a big conservatory, so it's all glass. So I just plant things in there and then put them in pots, sort of thing. I used to more near the centre, so you're probably a little bit lower down than us then. So maybe a little warmer. Yeah, Jesse saying back to reality. Yeah, if we had the money, Jesse, man, we'd have some serious tanks. Problem is with a fish tank hobby and the YouTube fish tank, we don't seem to make or generate the same amount of interest. So we're quite niche. I mean, I know you've got quite a big channel, Jesse, but you know, like for smaller channels like myself, it's very difficult to get, you know, even to the sort of 5,000 subscribers mark and getting big views on your videos is difficult. I mean, I've only been running my channel for around 2 years, I think now. So, no, sorry, not even 2 years, about a year and a half. So I'm still in the beginning stages of it. I will carry on with it because I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy doing the content. I enjoy speaking to you guys that are in the hobby. It's just a connection for me. I'll keep fish tanks anyway. Regardless of YouTube, and I enjoy breeding fish. I'll always, you know, sell fish to the wholesalers and stuff. But I enjoy making the videos because it gives me a reason to go and explore fish shops and go and do fish room tours and stuff like that. And I love doing them videos. But recently, because of my work's been so busy, just before Christmas and the beginning of this year, I hadn't really had a chance to get out and do any fish shop tours or anything like that. But hopefully this year, especially into the summer months, when I can come away from a fish room a little bit more, I'm going to start contacting some stores and hopefully get some tours coming up because I've sort of lost contact. When I used to do the fish shop tours a lot, I could basically, I knew where all the fish was, if you know what I mean. I could sort of say, I need 20 black German blue rams, and I knew which shops had them, whereas now, because I'm doing less and less tours, I don't really know who's got what, so it keeps you in contact with them guys as well. If you ever get too many stock or out like that, you can go and sell fish as well to them, which is awesome. Just saying, no, man, I have a small channel. My subs don't watch my content. Sub count looks good, but the watch time hours is most important. Yeah, I agree. The watch time hours are most important. I mean, I've got one video on my channel, and I've absolutely no idea why. But I did one Temu unboxing for some filters and stuff. I was sort of asking about on it a little bit, but that video has done better than all my other content. Most of my content were always about breeding fish and stuff like that, and keeping fish. And I just wanted to do this Temu. I can never say that word. It drives me insane. Temu video. And I did that, and it's got like 20,000 views, which is my most watched video. And that generates like the most YouTube watch time, the most subscribers, the most everything. Every week it does the best. And I really don't know why. Because in my opinion, some of my fish shop tours were better content, and they were heavily edited videos compared to the one that I just sort of did on the off chance one day, just buying some stuff off Temu. So But yeah, I agree. The watch hours does make more of a difference. My subscriber count, when I look at sort of the subscribers to non-subscriber watching, it's like 70% are not subscribed, rather than people that are subscribed to the channel. Hello, my daughter's just come down. I'm just doing a live stream. Okay. I'm just talking to the guys on the live stream.
Hi, everyone.
She's just coming in. You have to come lower because it's there. This is my daughter, Holly. She's off college today, so she's hanging around the house. Yeah, she's just going to get some dinner. All right. Yeah. So, yeah. Jody said, hello, Holly. Jody. She's from America. Yeah, she's going to come on, I think, to have a look. Yeah, let's just put there. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Jody. So
She's been sleeping as teenagers do. So, but yeah. Joel makes 12K plus on almost every one of his videos. He never graduated high school, been in jail, and now drives a caddy and living the dream. Yeah, that's what I see that on a lot of channels, Jesse, where you'll see sort of people making a hell of a lot of money off YouTube these days. I mean, look at people like MD Fish Tanks. I watched his channel when he had 100 subscribers, and now he's got that big, nice house. But I find as well, his channel's changed. I don't watch him as much as I used to do. Where he used to have like the little shed outside and doing like the cheap sort of aquascapes and stuff. I feel like that with a better content than the stuff that he's doing now with the 8-foot tanks, and because it's out of reach for a lot of people to have an 8-foot tank, you know, in your living room or whatever. A lot of people can't do that, but when you're doing a 40 breeder, a lot of people can relate to that because you can get a 40 breeder quite easily. You can buy fish tanks, you know, under that size for quite cheap, and you can easily stock it with plants. Because a lot of time people say, you know, how much does it cost to build a fish tank? I mean, like this one behind me here, the fish tank itself's reasonably expensive, but there's also, I've got a big canister filter on there. You know, like I've got sponsored to do the video with Haiger to get the heater. This is like a $90 heater or whatever. And then I've got probably about $300 or $400 worth of plants in there. You know, you don't, once you add it all together, the plants and stuff and the fish, it gets real expensive. And people were like, so it costs that much to build one fish tank? And then when you start giving it, yeah, it's 8 foot long, you know, that's this fish tank like twice and a bit. He made 12K on his video when he added fish to his 2K aquarium straight from his mouth. Yeah, I can imagine. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Joey Rich. I'm not sure I've seen that channel actually. Oh yeah, I can imagine it's over 1 million views. Yeah. See, the thing is, if you just get that one video that hits 1 million views, you can make some decent money out of this YouTube stuff. Bob's just saying, how strange is that? My daughter is at college and called Holly as well. 2 things in common: fish and Hollies. Yeah, she's doing like she wants to be a flight attendant. So what's it called, Holly? What are you doing? Cabin crew and what? Cabin crew and aviation. She's doing at college. So she wants to be on the planes, going to nicer climates, I imagine, than where we are. JP saying the majority of my tanks are 40s or under. My daughter has a 60-gallon and an axolotl, and we have a 230 display tank. I much prefer to be able to buy tanks on the half off sale. Yes, sir. You guys have got the $1 a gallon sales and stuff. I wish we had that in England, because I would have so many tanks in my house. I mean, something like this is like 500 liters. I'm not sure what it is in gallons, but a tank like this is costing you like 700, 800 pounds. So I'd be on way to about $1,000 ish. But yeah, second-hand tanks are good. If you can find Facebook Marketplace is good for fish keeping, I think. As long as you give them a good clean out. Same with filters and things. You can buy FX6s and stuff off Facebook Marketplace for half price. As long as what I do is if I buy anything like filters or FX6 or whatever, I just get like a renewal pack from Fluval, so you get all the seals in there, and I just change all the seals and gaskets, and usually 9 times out of 10 the filter will work fine. Jesse's saying, yes, I would love to have a code that did that well. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I really don't. Just saying, yes, 3 125s, 2 75s, 2 55s, 160, 129, 1 300, 2 20 gallons longs, and a 30-gallon Petco acrylic tanks. I got for free. That's pretty nice. I think if you go on Facebook Marketplace as well, so a lot of people just after a while are trying to sell fish tanks because not many people are interested in them. They'll just give them you to get them out of the house, especially if it's a big tank like these kind of tanks. They'll just get them, they'll just give them away basically to anyone. They'll just say, right, you can have it because I'll just give us a small donation, $10, $20, whatever. Jody, they don't do dollar per gallon sale anymore. That's a shame. I wish they did. I'm not on Facebook. Most of the people selling on there still want full price. Yeah, no, I get that as well. And a lot of people think that the fish tanks are worth what they was when they bought them 3 years ago, which is not right because the silicon seals and stuff perish over time. I mean, I know this with the job I do, floor and wall tiling. I silicon bathrooms and stuff on a regular basis, and floors and natural stones and stuff like that. And one of my most common callbacks is, Dave, you tiled my kitchen 3-4 years ago. Can you come back and redo the silicon? So when you've got submerged silicon in water like they are, you've lost 3 years of that fish tank's life straight away. If it's a 3-year-old fish tank, 2-year-old fish tank, whatever time it's been filled with water, that's the amount of time the fish tank's life has lost, unless you know how to reseal them. I mean, I've only resealed one tank in it with the 5-foot tank that the Oscars are in the fish room when I had that leak, which is on one of my videos from a while back. But I'm pretty good at siliconing because I do it for a job. And when I was filling that tank up, even I was very nervous, like 5 foot of water. So there were a lot of water in that tank that could have just blown up all over my fish room. And I was extremely nervous about filling it up. But touch wood, it's been safe till now, but I was still a bit wary about filling it up. It was a scary moment, that's for sure. So Jesse's just saying, found so many 3 or 400 gallon aquariums at crazy good price, but 4+ hours away. That's the problem with the States as well, I guess. I can get anywhere in my country within 4 hours because I'm in the center as well. If I drive south 5 hours, I'm at the sea, and if I drive north 6 or 7 hours, I'm at the top of Scotland. So I can literally get anywhere. And if I'm going east to west, I can get to the west coast in an hour, and I can get to the east coast within. Sorry about that. I can get to the west coast within 2 hours, so I'm pretty good. But within the States, I mean, you could be going through, if you start having to cross states and things like that, you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. And that's a long, long way. So just saying, seems like most good deals come from Georgia when I'm looking. I suppose it depends. Does it show you more where you live, like the surrounding areas? I can't remember if it's like, when you buy off eBay, you can set like that radius. So it pinpoints where you are, and you can set like a radius from where you live, sort of thing. I think that's how it does it on there. I'm not 100% sure And George is saying, same here, Jesse. Most of the good deals I see are in Minnesota or Missouri. So yeah, it's quite away from where you need to be. But yeah. My wife must be on a dinner break. She's sent me a text there. But yeah, I think if you're looking for fish tanks in general, Facebook Marketplace has always been a good place for me, especially if I'm looking for something that's a little bit unusual. You tend to find most people that are not in the hobby, I'll buy the most unusual fish tanks you can imagine, the hexagon-shaped things, the bow fronts. You can sometimes find them, what they call them, meta frames or whatever. Sometimes someone will have just like a random meta frame tank in the shed that they've had for 20 years that they've forgotten about, and they pulled out the lawnmower and they found it behind. Right, Jesse, thanks for dropping in. It's been awesome to have you in the chats, and hopefully I'll catch up with you soon. It's nice, like I say, it's nice to speak to you and have a bit of a catch up. So I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. My signature. But yeah, I might just cut the live stream actually. Thanks for jumping in, you guys, for Rob, Jody, and of course Jesse. And hopefully you guys will tune in next time I do a live stream. I keep saying this on the live streams. I'm thinking about doing a regular one on a certain day of the week. So I might schedule one. Jody, join me on tomorrow morning stream if you want. I'll put a link up in the chat. I might jump on that with you, Jesse. What time? I'm not sure what the time difference is. Yeah, we'll figure it out anyway. I might jump on there. I don't know whether to cut the live stream actually. I might just stay on. I'll do an hour. We'll do 20 more minutes. Right, where are we going in the chat here? Okay, Ryzen, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Right, I'll try and figure out the time difference, Jesse, and jump on with you if I can. If it's like 3 in the morning, then I'll probably leave it, but I'll have a look. Rob Legg saying, what you got planned for the next Dave? Right, so I'm trying to do the angelfish again. They've just spawned, Rob, yesterday or the day before. I can't remember what day it went out because my days are blending into one another with it when we've been off work. But yeah, they've just spawned, so I've set up the little tank again with some methylene blue. They've spawned on the really big tile again. So I've put it sideways this time. I've just been in this morning to have a look at the slate to see how the fish were getting on. And there's quite a few white eggs, so like infertile ones, which is a bit of a pain because obviously I'm desperate to get a spawn of these angelfish. I don't know how old the parents are, you see, so I bought them as a breeding pair off a local fish keeper. And I don't know how old they are. They're obviously adult size, but I don't know if they're like a year old or 2 years old or 3 years old. And it's my understanding that when angelfish get to a certain age, they actually stop breeding, or they breed the same rate but more infertile. So I'm trying to get. So Jenny's off to work. See you later, Jenny. Thanks for dropping in on the stream. It's awesome to have you in, and have a nice day at work. So I lost all the fry with the. I don't know if you saw the video. There were a heater that just basically exploded in the tank. I don't know if it electrified the water or if it just overheated it. But when I tested the water, it were 89 Fahrenheit or something crazy like that. So it were on way to 30 degrees Celsius, which is not good, obviously. There were probably about 10 fry left. So I moved them to another tank, but because of the temperature drop, it'd have been like being in the sunshine to going into Antarctica with the temperature difference. It would have been nearly 15 degrees Celsius difference down to the normal temperature. And I think the shock might have killed him off, but it's just unfortunate. One of them things. Like I said earlier on in the stream there, I'm hoping to change all my Chinesium heaters to some probably Eheim ones, or I'm sponsored by Haiger as well on my videos. So Haiger send me heaters out to do reviews on and stuff. So that's what I've got in the tank just here. I'll see if I can move my camera across a little. So like these I'm sponsored by like these heaters here. So Haiger, they've got like thermo controllers on them and stuff. So they've got like 3 probes or whatever that test the temperature. So there's 2 on the actual heater, and then there's one that's just at the other side. And if the temperature gets over the maximum that I've stated, it cuts the heater out, and then it'll drop down. When the water temperature drops down to the minimum, it'll kick it back in. Even if it's faulty, it can only go between the heating temperatures of the probe, which is pretty nice. It's like a fail-safe with them, and they've got like burnout controls and stuff on them. With the fish room, if I'd have had this type of heater in the angelfish fry tank with this type of heater, then the tank would have been safe because the room's heated as well. So the temperature of the water wouldn't have dropped too low. And obviously with the heater shut off, it wouldn't have gone too high because the heater controller would have cut the heater out. So that's what I'm looking to do with the fish room now. I'm going to change this heater. I'm going to change all the heaters in the tanks in the fish room to have the thermostatic control on, just like these do, because the room's on a thermostatic control as well, so it can't go too high or too low, which is what I need to do. So yeah, that Rob was just saying there, that's annoying. It would be better to heat the room. Yeah, with the fish tanks in there, heating the room in the summertime is not too bad because I've got a probe that dangles down from the ceiling, and it controls the temperature of the room. So if the temperature of the room is getting too high, then the heating shuts off, and then if it gets too low, it kicks the heaters off, which is the way I wanted it to be. But in the winter time, the heat is just on constantly because the air temperature around the room's slightly lower than the thermostatic controller can read, which is very expensive, as you can imagine. Yeah, it does. So it will make it less of a worry, and also you've got the digital controls on the Haiger heaters as well. So with the Chinesian ones, it's just the turn top ones. You can't really judge what temperature it is, whereas the Haiger ones, it's got a digital display and it tells you 3 displays. So you've got the top one, which is the cutoff for the low temperature. So you can put in, say, 26 Celsius, and then you can have the actual temperature and then your high temperature cutoff. So most of my tanks that I run, because I do rainbow fish, Australian fish in Papua New Guinea, and also the rams, which like it really, really warm. I mean, my ram tanks, I keep my rams at like 30 Celsius, so the 82, 83, 84 degrees. And same with the angelfish that I've got. So like this tank here now is running at 28.9 Celsius, which is quite warm. To say that you're supposed to be at like 26-ish. It's fairly warm. But yeah, I do like the Haiger heaters as well, because this one's I think it's 300 watts, but it's quite small. It's like probably about a mobile phone size. Well, an old mobile phone size. Whereas the original Haiger heater that they sent out, so this is like the black hole, it's called. This is the upgraded one to the one that I had before. But it's the same heater, just like an upgraded version of it. But it's a lot more slimlined. The controllers are easier to use, and it holds the temperature a lot better than the other one did. But the other one I've got in my Oscar tank now, so I'm quite happy with the old one as well. Yeah, it's done really well. I've just put a wave maker in there as well because I was getting some blackbeard algae, and I hear it doesn't like the flow too much, so I've put a wave maker in. That's why it looks like the valve's like sweeping across that way, because it's just behind me there, just at the back. See if I can show you. I'll try and show you on the other camera, because I can move this one around. So this is a controller, Rob. I've just got it just here. It's actually falling down. It's just like a little. It's a 27.5 now. It just goes in there. Yeah, it's pretty good. And I've got the wave maker at the top. And then that's the heater. And obviously the ton of rainbow fish that we've got. I'm hoping to send you out some of these Praycocks. I've actually got them in another tank ready to go. I just need to look at I hate BBA. Oh man, I had it on one leaf. I bought an Anubias plant from I can't remember where. We're like a local fish shop, fish store, whatever. And it had one leaf that had like a black edge around the leaf, and I didn't actually know what it was. And this were, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. And I put it in one of my tanks, and then it spread to another plant. And then I moved some decorations around, and then all of a sudden the Vallisneria just got absolutely covered in blackbeard algae. But since then, it must have got into my nets and stuff, when I've been moving the fish around. And it's spread to my fish room now. So there's some tanks in my fish room that I've got blackbeard algae on, which is a real pain. And now I can't get rid of it. I've been trying to use what's it called? I forgot what it's called now. No, totally gone. The stuff that you put in your hair, what women put in their hair, I can't remember what it's called now. No, forgotten. But it's a chemical basically. So I've been spraying the plants in the hydrogen peroxide. That's what it's called. I've been spraying the plants for hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, that's it, Rob. You're just a little bit behind me. I knew you'd come up with it. So I've been spraying the plants with hydrogen peroxide, then washing them off, and then putting them back in. And it seems to have beat it. But on the tank, the back to basics guppy tank that I did, I've still got quite a lot of it in there, and it's mainly on the Anubias, and I don't know why it seems to attach to that more. For some reason, it just tends to go onto the Anubias. I haven't actually got that lit up just yet, but that's a pretty good, decent little tank, the guppy tank. It's pretty good. Oh no, my cat's here. This is the one that's just had some surgery done. He's not too bothered about being picked up there. Yep. So yeah, we're looking to send these fish. I'm not sure how to do it, Rob, because I was looking on Royal Mail. So I'm going to just sort of like put it in a plain box with some heat packs in, and then just send it through Royal Mail, and then just see how we get on with that. Mine's on the Anubias. Got some on the filter as well, which is weird. Yeah, so I find that as well. I get it on the sponge filters quite a bit, and anything that's like plastic. So in the guppy tank, I've got some little baskets that hang on the back, and I've got some peace lilies coming out of it. And it tends to grow on that, like when the water's moving, you can see it on the edges. So I don't know what to do with that. But yeah, I might try the Royal Mail. I'm just worried about them getting bashed around a bit, because you can actually see the Praycocks on that second camera there on the left-hand side. That's what they'll grow up to be. That's the parents of the ones I've got. I think I've got about 150 of them so far. But I breed them all the time. I've moved some spawn. I've got a breeding group. Yeah, no, I've heard they don't allow live animals, but if you buy fish off eBay, they always come through Royal Mail in blank boxes, or they'll put like that live fish sticker on. But I'm not sure if I'll actually accept it with a live sticker. Unless they used to be able to do it and now you can't. I'm not really sure how it works with it. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works with the posting fish. We might have to try and get like a courier, but I'll send you more than it's worth, Rob. Like if you want to pay for postage, if it's like, I don't know, 20 quid or something like that, then I'll send you like 50 rainbows. Like it'll always be cheaper than buying them at shop. I'll send you a real big batch of them, because I've got a lot of them, and I'm breeding them to sell to the wholesalers, but I'm breeding them for this rainbow tank because I just want an absolutely massive spawn, like a big swarm of them in the tank. I think it'll look awesome. Yeah, they used to, when I've bought pairs of guppies and stuff off eBay before, and they always charge like £20. But what they do is they send it through Royal Mail usually. I bought a pair of black lace guppies or something, and they came through Royal Mail because you had to sign for them. But I was like, I'm sure I thought they wasn't supposed to send them through the couriers like that as well. But obviously, some people must just send them through there. I'm just hopeful, like as long as they do the heat packs right, then I think they should be pretty good. But now the weather's warming up as well because you've only got the risk of it when they're in the van. Basically, when they're in the van, that's when they need to be warm. Apart from in the van, they'll be absolutely fine, I think. When they're in a building. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if I'll do you some polystyrene and heat boxes. Yeah, so I've got some boxes that I've actually saved from when I've had fish delivered, and I can get polystyrene boxes from the wholesaler that I sell to, and they'll just give me them whenever I want one, basically, because they've got millions of them. Because they buy fish from wholesalers, so they get them boxes like regular, every week or whatever. So I can get them all the time. I think in a polystyrene box with loads of newspaper in, and then some heat packs and one in breather bags, because obviously I don't have an oxygen tank or all like that. Should do it. I think if you do it in breather bags and it takes from the oxygen on the outside and just fill it right to the top. But yeah, we'll figure something out, Rob, for sure. I'll send you some down, no problem. Like I said, I've just pulled some mops this morning. They've been in there. They've been soaking in the parents' tank for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. And when I looked in the mop and opened the mop up, there must have been 1,000 eggs in there. There were absolutely tons of them. But there is some snails in my breeding tanks, so some of them will get eaten. And obviously, sometimes you'll get the belly sliders where they'll just sink to the bottom, and you won't get much luck with them. They won't sort of they won't fill the swim bladders up, and they'll just end up dying in the tank. So you'll always get some falls. But I reckon I could do 300 a month, 300 rainbow fish a month easily. That's amazing that all the eggs. Yeah, honestly, Rob, like if you can get a tank going if you just put in 2 males with like 4 females and just put some spawning mops in, within a week you'll have 100 rainbow fish eggs in there. And all I do is I just take the mop out and put it in another tank. I've got some tanks that I grow fish up in and some tanks that I breed fish in. And I usually put 3 mops in one tank. I'll leave it a week. You're supposed to wait 10 days. That's the best. The most amount of time. That's what you're supposed to wait, basically. Because after they take 10 days to hatch. So if you wait 10 days, the first eggs that were laid will be hatching. So if you take it out then and put it into another tank, after about 24 hours, you'll start seeing the fry on top of the water. And then I just get like a 4-inch deck screw and a carry first bites. Or you can use a toothbrush or a paintbrush. You just dip it in the first bites and then just go along the top of the tank, sprinkle a little bit of first bites on. I do that twice a day, every day. And then after like a week or so, you can get them onto baby brine shrimp. And if you start hatching baby brine shrimp on, they'll just grow so fast. After once you get into brine shrimp, you'll start seeing them looking like rainbows within about a month. And then you can start selling them or keeping them for yourself or whatever. But you can easily stock a tank with Praecox rainbows in no time. I'm wanting to do some Bozeman or Bosemanis next. So I've got the 5 boys in this tank behind me, the one that's on the rainbow fish aquarium tank there. So I've got the 5 boys, but I've been looking for some really strong females, and these boys are like nearly 2 years old now, so they're getting quite big. That one that's on screen now is probably about nearly 4-inch long by about 2-3 inch wide. So they're quite big. They don't look it on the camera, but they are bigger than they look, sort of thing. I try to put my hand up against it. So that's like you can imagine like a bloke's hands. I know it sounds stupid, but they're quite big. But they look awesome. I love this rainbow fish tank. I always wanted to build a rainbow fish tank from when I started the hobby, to be honest. And this is just like, I mean, I'm getting quite a lot of reflections off the screen and stuff, but it's absolutely awesome. I've got the red rainbows in there and the Bozeman eyes and all that, so it's pretty cool. So Rob was just saying they are cheap down where I live. I'm pretty sure they'd be profitable. Yeah, 100%. You could make a fortune. The other thing is with rainbow fish is you have to wait quite a while for them to grow up to get a good size, which is a bit of a pain. But once you get them grown up a bit, then they're pretty good. I'm hoping to do some of the reds as well. I've done the blues, so the blues that are just going off to the right of the screen, sort of coming into the middle. I actually bred them ones. I got a male and female by accident, and I just sort of put a spawning mop in their tank, and within the 10 days, they'd laid about 20 eggs, and then I took out the eggs. I put them into another tank. I grew these ones up to adults, and then I bred a ton of them as well. I'm hoping to take these blue ones out of this tank and do another batch of them because I had a good batch of blue rainbows for a while. So, and I like breeding the rainbow fish. I'm pretty sure there's male and females in my tank. I'm not 100%, but some of them look male, some of them look female. It's also good as well if you're building a tank like this to keep your stocks up. If you're running out of fish for that particular type, you can just take a male and female, put them in a tank, put a spawning mop in, let them breed, hatch the eggs out, move your adults back to your main tank. Then once they grow on, then you can put them back into your aquarium, and it just keeps a constant stock of like what the fish that you like. That tank looks amazing with the different varieties of rainbows. Yeah, thanks, Rob. It does look pretty good. I mean, I've got some Grammies and stuff in there as well. I'm not sure if you can see because that massive banner's in there, but see if you can. I don't think you can remove the banner. But yeah, there's quite a few. I'll try and move the camera over a little. Just trying to get some power into my camera. I'll just mute the mic on this one and then put it onto that camera. So you should still be able to hear me, I think. Yeah, they've got, I need to see back of my head on this one, but I've got the rainbows there and the angels. They're pretty nice looking fish, actually. I love the reds. These reds ones are absolutely awesome. I'm not sure where they're from. I think they're a variety from Papua New Guinea, but I can't remember what lake or stream or whatever they come from. And these are the turquoise ones that I bred a little while ago. So these are the ones that I'm probably going to breed again. I need to take them out as well because I'm not sure which ones are male or female. I'm assuming these ones are females. Ooh, these ones here, the smaller ones, and then the bigger ones like this are the male variety of them. But it's quite difficult to catch them out because you can imagine with like a tank this size, and obviously all the plants that are in there. And rainbows are super fast as well. When you try and catch them, they fly around everywhere. But I'll try and get you a good shot of these Bosmai. They're pretty big. But I've seen these I watched a video quite a few years ago, and a guy had these, and they were like around 6 inch long, and they were about sort of 4 inch deep. They're really deep bodied rainbows. They are pretty cool. It's definitely my favorite tank. And I'll try and show you my my guppy tank too, if I can get the lights to come on, because my lights are controlled with let's mute this mic again. There we go. Should be back now. I control the lights from a tank through Tapo, so I use like a Wi-Fi plug, which I can only do with my phone. So the tank's 500 liters. It's just under. I think it's like 480 or something like that. I can't actually remember. It's quite a big tank now. It's like, because it's 4 foot long or 5 foot long by 2 foot, and then it goes 2 foot back as well. So it's pretty big. It doesn't look as big as it is on camera, but it's big. It's up to like here on me when I stand up. Obviously, it's on a stand, so it's a pretty decent sized tank. And yeah, they are super fast. Trying to catch any rainbow fish is fast. The trick is with rainbows is feed a floating pellet, and then when they come up, just scoop them or put the pellets in the net. Like if you get one in big net, I've got a massive net like that. Put the pellets in the net, and then like hang the net in the water so they swim into it. Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, if I sit, because I'm close to the camera, it doesn't look that big, but if I sit back, I mean, it's massive. I can't remember what size it is, but it's deep as well that way. Like if I come to the side of it, it goes pretty far back as well. It's like 10 mil glass, so it's quite a thick glass. I'll chuck some food in because they go crazy when you feed them. Absolutely mental. Yeah, it's Jewel. I'm not sure which one. I can't remember where I put the food. I'll get some of these. Get some of these pellets in there. Try to feed them near the camera. It should come down. They just got absolutely nuts with these pellets. There we go. Might look a bit nuts with the lights, but most of the fish will come out now as well. It's like the opposite. You turn the camera, it's the opposite way to what you want it to go. But yeah, they're pretty cool. You can see that plant in the background there. I've just put some root tabs in. These Amazon swords are really suffering. I don't know what's going on with it, really. Some sort of nutrition thing that's going wrong. But yeah, they do awesome. I got the Rio 180 litre. Yeah, I've got another tank just there. I'll see if I can get the lights on. I'll show you. Yeah, because it's that's my guppy tank thing. Whatever. Just switch mics again, Rob. 1 sec. Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. So this is my other tank that I've got in the room, like my guppy aquarium. So I've just got the peace lily thing coming at the top, and then the pendant lights. And I've just got tons of guppies in here. The light's reflecting a little bit. You can see the blackbeard algae on there as well. I never know which way is best to film this tank. There's tons of plants and stuff in there again. This is the one at the opposite side. I've got like the TV in the middle. I think this one's like 120 or something like that, maybe 120 litres. And then I've got the pendant lights. It used to have a lid on it, so I took the lid off and got a jump guard. And then just my partner bought me these pendant lights for like my birthday or whatever, because I wanted them. I've got tons of plants in there as well. There's tons of guppies in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see them because of the reflections too much, but So the other thing with the pendant lights, when you're trying to film, it reflects back whatever's close to it. It's a pretty cool tank as well. But yeah. Oh, I'm trying to keep this. Sorry if there's any knocking and banging while I put this on this tripod. I'll switch cameras around then. Right, we're back again. How are we doing? AK. Let's see you there in the chats. Rob saying, do they do well? Do they do well up where you are? The guppies don't do well where I am. That's so quick. Yeah, no fish, unless you're buying from like a mum and pop store or whatever, then all fish will be it'll be pretty tough. If you're going to like Pets at Home or somewhere like that, I wouldn't even bother because you'll have them for a month and they'll die. The first, like I was saying before, the first set of German blue rams that I got, I had to breed them to get a good batch of them. The first pair were really bad. I had to like medicate the tank about 4 times, and they died within about 2 months. I managed to get a couple of spawns, so you know, I managed to keep them going. AK saying, what should the gender ratio be for Bozeman rainbow breeding? In my opinion, it depends what size tank you're using, but I'd say use 2 males to 3 or 4 females, roughly. That'll just give the males a bit of competition, so they'll keep wanting to breed. And you want to outnumber the males with females, so one female's not getting targeted, because they'll bully them quite a bit to breed. The males will. So I'd probably say if it were my breeding project, I'd go for a 20-gallon tank with 2 males and 3 females. That's what I'd use. And I'd put 3 spawning mops in. You want spawning mops to go from. I use a cork, and I use like acrylic yarn on it. And you want the cork to be on top of the water floating, and the yarn to be at the bottom. So it's a full sight break from the top to the bottom of the tank. And if you put 3 in, just have them floating around, that'll just stop the males being able to see each other all the time, so they don't sort of keep fighting all the time. But I think that's a good ratio for any rainbow fish species or type. If you wanted to make it real sort of easy, I'd just go for 1 male and 3 females and 2 spawning mops in a 20-gallon. That'd be pretty good. Just keep an eye on your water quality. Make sure the tank's really warm as well. I'd want to be keeping tank temperatures at least 80 Fahrenheit, so that'll keep them breeding. And I'd be using some sort of live food to get them breeding consistently. I use baby brine shrimp. You can use blackworms, all like that. I'd just definitely stay away from bloodworms, and I'd stay away from bloodworms in all varieties of fish as well. They just create bloat, and they can bring parasites into your tanks and stuff. They're just not good for any fish at all, especially German blue rams and microcichlids like that. Epistogrammas or all like that. They're not good for them whatsoever. I usually use, if you're using frozen foods, I'd use Daphnia, frozen brine shrimp. Even mosquito larvae is better than bloodworms, but I'd stay away from bloodworms definitely in sort of microcichlids. Microcichlids are not good with bloodworms at all. And if you wanted to look at sort of more details on bloodworms, just watch Keeping Fish Simple, Nick. He's just had loads of bad news with bloodworms killing his fish and causing bloat and stuff like that. So they're definitely not good for your fish room or any breeding projects. But yeah, for Bozeman, I'd say definitely use a 2 to 3 ratio. So 2 males to 3 females. The more females, the better, to be honest, because it'll spread the aggression out. I'd keep 2 males for the only reason of it'll keep whichever male's not breeding wanting to breed, and I'll keep them active that way as well. Obviously, you'll get the odd random fish that's just super aggressive. Just keep an eye on the males fighting with each other, because if there's one that's mega aggressive, then obviously take that one out and try another ratio. It's just a bit of a learning curve for them. But Rob's saying, don't buy from Pets at Home. No, I used to buy stuff from Pets at Home. I'll go in there for food and stuff, but I generally don't buy fish from Pets at Home. No problem, AK. No problem at all. And if you need any help, just send us a message on one of my videos, and I'll try and help you out as well. But definitely, if you can get some baby brine shrimp hatched, that is the key, because you put that stuff in the tank and they'll just breed like mad. But yeah, getting good quality fish is hard. It's hard anywhere in the world to get good quality fish, unless you can get wild caught or you know a breeder. If you know a breeder, then you'll get some decent fish then. For some reason, my phone is not charging. I'm just going to check something, guys, one moment. Time for a break. So yeah, what wholesalers do I use? Do you mean to sell or to buy? If I'm buying fish for myself or from a fish room, what I tend to do is you can either go on eBay and risk eBay. The problem is with eBay, you'll either find a really good breeder, or you'll find a shop that's on eBay. So like, there's a lot of shops that advertise on eBay. So the best thing to do is click on the ad that you think you want. So if it's like two breeding pair of angelfish or whatever, click on them. And then if you go down to their profile, sometimes it'll be like, if it says Stan Smith 81 or something like that, then generally that'll be someone like me who's just breeding from home. But sometimes you'll find it's like aquarium chaos or whatever, and then you click on it and there's got a million things for sale. That'll generally be like a shop. Stay away from the shops, I'd say, and look for the guy that's Stan Smith 81, because when you've just got a fish room like I do, you tend to take more care. Like I go in my fish room twice a day. I go once in the morning, once in the night. I only feed premium food. Like all my fish that I've got are all, like they're all on premium food. So like I hatch out baby brine shrimp. I only use like the most expensive pellet food. Whereas a shop will just go around with some cheap flake out of a 20-kilo bag and just throw it in all the tanks. Depending on the shop, some shops really keep up with it. Stuff like Aquarium Corp, like Corey, he's hatching baby brine shrimp every day. But it's very rare you'll find somewhere like that. It's just one of them things, I think. But yeah, you find local breeders, and then for selling fish, you can sell them pretty much to any fish store. You want to go to the mum and pop stores, the ones that have been around for a million years. They've got the same carpet from the 80s. Then they're the guys that'll buy the fish off you. But you have to, in them types of fish shops, they know what quality fish look like. So you need to take in quality fish. You can't just take in a load of mixed guppies and be like, I want 50 quid for these or whatever. I've got 30 guppies that are just sort of mixed up mud guppies and expect like top money for them. You've got to breed them to a high standard. Like My German blue rams were the best I've ever seen, but it took me like 2 years to get them that way. I had to keep breeding and mixing the bloodlines up, breeding and breeding. And then eventually I got to the point with the red nose, that super red German blue rams, which were selling like hotcakes. But it took me a long time to get into that stage. And that's why you can go into most shops and sell them. Same with the Praecox rainbows. If you look at if you put sort of one of my Praecox rainbows next to a Pets at Home one, and the Pets at Home ones are really skinny and thin, that sort of in the body, whereas mine are more like tall in the body and much more colourful. You can just tell the difference a mile off. It's just because I've spent so much time with them. AK is asking how many years in the hobby. How did it all start? So I've been in and out of the hobby since I was about 17, and I'm now 39, so a number of years. It all started, my auntie was selling a 6-foot fish tank, and she had a common pleco in it, and a load of fish. There were angelfish, gouramis, all sorts in there. And I bought the tank and the fish off her for £30, I think. So that'd be $50 maybe. I brought it home and I had the fish tank for around 3 or 4 years. When I moved house, I actually downsized my house to an apartment, and I moved into the apartment. I had nowhere to put the fish tank. So I put it on a website called Swaps or whatever it was at the time, and I swapped the fish tank for a PS2 or something like that. Maybe I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the PlayStations anyway. And I didn't have a fish tank then for quite a number of years. And then I wanted to get another fish tank because of the one that I had before. So I bought a 40 breeder, and I had just a mixed variety of fish in there. There were gouramis and all sorts of stuff in there. I had 2 plecos in there. I had a common bristlenose and an albino bristlenose pleco, and they bred, and they had the eggs in a little cave. And I was moving some plants around, and I tipped the cave up, and the eggs fell out of it. And I was like, what the hell is that in my fish tank? It was like some alien thing in my fish tank. So I started Googling, what are these round orb things in my tank? I didn't have a clue what they were. And I sort of looked through, and I found fish eggs. And then I figured out that there were bristlenose pleco fish eggs. So I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, learned that I needed to get an egg tumbler. So I bought an egg tumbler off Amazon, like a really cheap little egg tumbler. Tumbled the eggs. I made a video about it, actually. One of the first videos I did on my YouTube channel. And the eggs hatched and turned into little fish. And then I bought another little tank to put the baby fish in. And then that were it. I were obsessed with breeding fish. From then, I bred plecos, I bred panda corridoras. I bred all sorts of. I was breeding anything, any fish that I could get a male and female. I started breeding it, and I was just obsessed with the hobby. So I started there, and now I've got a fish room. I sell to wholesalers. I make YouTube videos. I'm currently filming a CO2 reactor video. It's just on my dining room table. That's going to be coming out soon, hopefully on my channel. That should be pretty good. But yeah, that's where it started. Where did it start for you, AK, if you're still in the chats? And Rob Leg's saying, how strange, I'm 39 as well. That's 3. 3 in commons. Yeah. So, and obsessed with fish as well. So yeah, it's been pretty good. AK said, I'm 34, new to the hobby. I got guppies, mollies, archfish, whiptails, and I will add betta in a few weeks. They're all very good fish to start with. Have you got them all in the same tank, or have you got them separate? Or are you just ramming them in for now? But they're good fish to start with. I had about 90 bettas about 2 weeks ago, but I sold them all from a breeding project. It's a cool hobby to be in there, okay? Stick with it, you'll love it. There's plenty of people as well that'll help you out if you need any help with anything. Does my rainbow fish aquarium camera look really weird? Because it does on my screen. Looks like it's all blurry, isn't it? Yeah, it looks really strange. Is it? Rob's just saying, is it easy to sell better fish? Yes and no. It is. I sold mine as a batch of them, so I sold 2 batches. I had 200 of them, and I sold 110 to the wholesaler, and then 90 just to some guy that wanted to make a better sorority tank. So that worked out pretty good for me. But if you're trying to sell them, because the good thing about betters is you can keep them. If you breed betters, you can keep them in one tank together. But if you move any of the betters away, so if you took out like 10 and then took another 10 out, eventually the tank could just start fighting with itself. If you keep, I had 200 betters in a 40 breeder. Obviously, mega water changes if you've got to keep up with it. But I had 200 better fish in a 40 breeder, and as long as you don't adjust anything, you can't move like plants around or change out because it like disrupts the betters. I don't know why, but they'll start fighting with each other, and eventually they'll start dying out. But yeah, you can sell them. You can sell them individually somewhere like eBay. If you're going to sell them as a whole, you want a wholesaler, and some shops will buy them off you as well in groups of 10. If you can find somewhere to sell them like that. I mean, most fish can sell to shops. My advice to you, Rob, is if you're thinking about selling fish in any aspect, is before you even buy any fish to breed, go to your shops where you buy your fish from, or go and talk to the owners. Just say to them, say, look, I'm looking to breed some fish. What would you guys buy? What do you need? Because that's what I do. I don't particularly need German blue rams, but I breed them to fund my fish room. So I breed them basically to sell. I prefer to breed rainbow fish because that's the fish that I like. Rainbow fish above all tropical fish. Any sort of tropical fish. Rainbow's the ones that I like the most of. So I tend to want to breed them the most. I think they look the best. They're fast in the tanks. They look absolutely awesome when they're mixed together. It's just one of them things. Yeah, you can from birth. You can have males and females in the same tanks. The way to do the male and female mixture with betters is have one male and a lot of females. Or you can have all the better fish together, males and females, but just don't change the ratio at all. Don't like take away 50 females and then leave a load of males because they'll attack each other till there's one left, basically. But yeah, you can mix them. If I were going to do a sorority tank, I'd use all females. But you can put. When I breed them, obviously I'm doing males and females together. The males are really aggressive there. So if you're going to do a mixture, I'd do one male to a lot of female, like 50, 20, 30, 50, just so the male's not just going after one female, because they'll just attack them like mad because they're trying to breed with them all the time. AK is saying 2.5 foot, 3 tanks for the archer and guppies, 35 litre tubs for the whiptail, and 2 white mollies, 2 lurchers. I built a temporary pond for the bozeman breeding, which I will get tomorrow too. That's a really good idea. That will work if you've got a pond, because they love the outside sketch of it. Unless if you did like an indoor IBC sort of thing, but a pond, and if you give them a lot of water volume, and they'll do really well, really well. Rainbow fish like big water, so like you struggle to house rainbow fish, especially when they get to a certain age, because they're so fast they can get from one side of the tank to other in seconds, like banging across. And they're very competitive eaters as well. So what I'd do is I'd feed them loads of high protein food. Are you in the UK? Are you abroad? Like, well, not abroad, like in the US. Or if you're in the UK, I'd go for a pellet called Better's Choice. I'll show you the box that I use. If you can't get hold of it in your local fish store, if you ask the owners, they'll be able to order you in some of this. It's called Better's Choice, high protein fish food. It's a really small grain pellet. I don't know if you'll be able to see it too good on this camera, but it's like a really fine pellet. These are the ones that I've used for 2 years now. I use this and baby brine shrimp mixed together, and I've never had a fish not breed from it ever on that combination. These pellets, I mean, I was doing some research into fish food, and I found like a lot of them have just got loads of ash and just garbage in them, basically. And these ones came up. I got recommended these from someone a couple of years ago. They were like, "Have you tried the Better's Choice pellets?" And I was like, "No." And when I got the box, these are like 50%. Sorry, I can't remember what it is now. It's either 50 or 60% crude protein in these, so they're mega protein. It's quite difficult to get in some places. My fish store where I sell fish to gets these for me, and I get them. This is just a little tub that I give to my partner to feed a better fish. I get them in like massive tubs, like this tall, this big. I think it's about 16 pounds or something. These little ones are only like £4. But yeah, this stuff is lightning for breeding fish. AK's got a question on breeding betters. Go ahead, fire away. And Rob uses that as well. And another in common. They are really, that is good food. That really good food. I've used that for a long time. I do vape, by the way. I've just been on. I usually don't do it on camera, but hopefully I don't get demonetized for it. I don't suppose you vape, do you, Rob? As well. I don't know why my other camera's going weird. I'm just gonna drop that camera off and stick it back on again. It's been crazy. It should work for some reason. It's not. It's gone right blurry for some reason. Try and find the code that I need to get back into my own live stream. It's so stupid the StreamYard to get into the. No, I don't vape. To get into your own live streams. Should let me know. Yes. Has that worked? Yes, it has. Good. Let's see if we can get this now. Add to stage. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I don't know what it was doing. It went all blurry and stuff. Went weird. So, what were I saying? Oh yeah, AK had a question on breeding better fish. Breeding better fish. What does better fry will look like? Will it look like father, mother, or mixed, or maybe nothing like the parents? I've had mixed reviews on that. It's a good question. That is a good question, AK. It really is. You tend to get a mixture of all things. Like on my last batch, I mixed. Unless you're doing a pure strain, if you do a pure strain, then they will look like the parents. So if the male and the female are like a certain variety of better fish, then they will look like the parents. But if you mix a blue and a red one together, you'll end up getting totally random colours. You'll end up getting some that have just got like stripes down them as well. And then they might have like a red tail or just totally random patterns. But you won't see the colours for about 2 months. Once they fry, they'll just look like guppy fry. So you'll see them all in the tank going around, and you feed them up. Then they'll get like maybe a rainbow fish shape. And then after that, they'll start getting the long tails then. Once you get to the long tail stage, that's when you need to start thinking about moving them, separating them up. Otherwise, they'll start fighting with each other at that point, unless you keep the hierarchy the same. So there'll always be one alpha male in there, and he'll usually keep them all in check. But yeah, it's a good question. Really good question. If you're into mainly breeding, Nick, I'd go for. Is it good to breed a placat and a full moon better? Yeah, because what you'll get is I think the full moon is a stronger gene, so you'll get the placat shape with the full moon tail, but you will get random offshoots off that as well. You'll get some that have got short tails, some that have got half moon tails and stuff. You'll get some weird stuff going on. It depends what your aim is. Obviously, if you're wanting to breed better fish, it's very difficult to house them unless you've got like an auto water change system. So you can build like a bookcase kind of stand with loads of little acrylic tanks on. You can see them on other people's channels. They've got them. And you can have like loads of little tanks, and then they build like an auto water change system that's got like a drip feed that drips the water in, keeps the water clean. And then you can just put one better in each little tank on your bookshelf. I've seen people doing that. John, I've forgotten his channel name now. No, I can't remember. It's called John anyway. Totally lost with names at the minute. But they've got a massive betta shelf. Like it goes all the way around the fish room. There's thousands of bettas in that place, and they're pretty nice as well. But they're a shop. If you wanted to keep them for yourself, I'd do it like that. If you wanted to sell them, I'd probably go for the same strain, so the parents are identical. So if you get like a dragon, I can't remember what they're called, dragon scale or whatever, male, then get a dragon scale female and breed them like that, because they'll be more profitable. Selling that one particular breed of them. It's always better to do pure bred fish. So like with rainbow fish, say for instance, you can breed a Boesemani male with a blue female. They'll mix breed, but then their babies will just be brown. So that's not worth anything. But if you do Boesemanis and keep mixing the bloodlines, it'll get stronger and stronger and stronger colours, and they'll look better and better and better over time. And then fish, what you sell then will be way more valuable than mixing two different colour types together. Same with guppies as well. If you mix like a koi guppy with a black lace guppy and mix them together, you'll get some really random colours, and they're not really valuable in the hobby. If you've got a pure strain of black lace guppies, you might sell a pair, a male and a female pair, for like $50 or whatever, £50. So that's the way to do it for fish breeding. Obviously, keeping them really healthy as well. Do lots of water changes, loads of expensive foods, high quality foods. I think the best way to bring up fish is live food. Just be careful what live food it is and where you're getting it from. Obviously, don't get loads of worms out of your garden, because they'll carry parasites, which will transfer to the fish. But you can get live foods that are specially bred. Again, stay away from bloodworms, because they're absolutely awful. Bloodworms in any fish tanks, not a good idea. If you're going to use live worms, use black worms, micro worms. There's tons of different other ones, white worms. Just stay away from bloodworms, because they're not good for fish, I don't think. In my personal opinion, anyway. And also, if you're going to do any frozen foods, try brine shrimp. Frozen brine shrimp, Daphnia, Cyclops, they're all good. Dry foods, do a mixture, do some... in my fish room now, I do different days. So like on a Monday, I might do brine shrimp and flake food together. mix them, and then on Tuesday I'll do pellets, the high protein pellets. These, like that kind of dry food, and then I feed morning and night as well. So I might do brine shrimp in the morning, flake on the night, pellets in the morning the next day, brine shrimp at night. I always do brine shrimp twice a day. Then I do flake food at night, like that. So it's totally different food, because if you think of it like feeding us, if you just had to eat toast every day, then you're just going to have no nutrition at all. You're going to look like death. You're going to have no motivation or energy. You're just eating toast morning, toast night, toast morning, toast night. It's just not good for you at all. So you mix up the foods, use different types, and find ones that you're comfortable with. You don't have to use the best choice when you can pick other stuff. I use Aquarian flake food. That's really good. So the big tubs of flake food, I use Aquarian. I use Fluval Bug Bites flake food as well. I use frozen food. So I've got in frozen food, I've got brine shrimp, Daphnia, Cyclops. I put them in every now and again as well. And then live foods is baby brine shrimp. That I hatch that every day. AK is just saying, I give them baby brine shrimp once a week because it's costlier in India. Yes, it's the same in Britain. AK, it's very expensive in England. It's a little bit cheaper in the US. I mean, I don't understand why it's so expensive in the States, because it comes from the Great Lakes, the Great Salt Lakes, and it's right on the doorsteps pretty much. So it is expensive food. If you are struggling to do hatch baby brine shrimp, or if you can just do it once a week, that's fine. But what I'd do is, AK, when you come to breeding your fish, what I'd do is, say like you had a week of, you're going to breed your fish. You want your fish to start breeding on Friday. And it's Monday morning. What you want to do is you want to start on Monday morning and just start feeding really heavy, no brine shrimp at all. Start feeding really heavy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Friday, in the morning, on the Friday, do a 50% water change with cooler water, not cold. Fill a tank up with cooler water, sort of like 5-6 degrees colder than the tank temperature. And then on that Friday night, just bomb it with brine shrimp. Put as much brine shrimp as you can afford in the tank, and that'll just trigger spawning straight away. Because you've fed them up, so they've got loads and loads of protein and whatever going through the week. Then they've had a drop in temperature, which that makes them think that it's time to spawn. And then you put loads of brine shrimp in. That's the high protein food. So that's good food for fish fry. So it tricks the fish to think, we've had a massive rain and now there's loads of food, and there's food that the fry can eat. So that's the time when they'll breed. And within that weekend, from the Friday till the Sunday, I can more or less guarantee you'll find some sort of breeding activity going on. That's the way I used to do it when I was doing the Corydoras. I used to have the spawning mops in the tank, and I'd leave a gap. So I'd do like 2 or 3 days I wouldn't feed them, or I'd feed them very, very small amounts. And then the week after, I'd just start feeding loads, twice a day, loads of food. Obviously, keep an eye on your water quality as well as you're feeding the food, because it can create nitrate and ammonia and stuff. So you've got to keep an eye on that. And then start raising the temperature up a little bit, get it to about 30 degrees. And then just before you're about to wanting them to spawn, just drop the water temperature. Well, drop the tank down 50%. And if you've got your tank at like 30 degrees, just take it to about 27 with your cold water filling it up, and then just bomb it with brine shrimp, and it'll trigger the spawning straight away. And that's how I used to, when I did the Corydora fish, you come the next day and there'd be loads of eggs in the spawning mops, a couple of days later, because they'd think there'd been a big rain. Also, you can look out for, if you know you're going to have a big rain, if there's a big storm coming in or out like that, and you know it's coming. So if you've had loads of days of sunshine and there's going to be a big storm, or if it's going to rain really heavily for a couple of days, try and time that week and the water change. So when the rain starts, you'll do your big water change in the tank, because the air's got low pressure, and the big water change and the low pressure in the atmosphere will create spawning activity as well. That works really well. But you want to keep your brine shrimp, because you're only doing it once a week. You want to keep it till you do that water change and then feed it quite heavily. And that usually triggers the fish to breed, to get into breeding mode. Because as the water drops, it'll raise in temperature. They'll think they've had a rain, which has cooled the water down, And the raising temperature will trigger the spawning activity then. I hope that helps. That's like a few years knowledge in 20 minutes. But yeah, that is an awesome trick. It does work as well. It's tried and tested. I've done it a lot of times. Yeah, hill stream lurch as well. You'll find if you do that technique, if they're in the same tank as like your Bozemanite, that'll trigger the hill streams to breed as well, because they really like the big water changes. Any sort of catfish, plecos, corridor catfish, whiptails, all like that. When you do them big drops in water change, at the same time it's low pressure. So when there's a rain coming, or there's a storm coming, the fish get ready to breed. And then once the temperature starts climbing again in the tank after the rain, that's when they'll start to spawn usually. And it really works. It's a good way to breed fish. That if you look into it in detail, most fish will breed after a big heavy rain or storm, because all the water that rushes down into the lakes and streams usually carries food, and it also drops the temperature, which that's where they see the spawning activity to begin then. So it's a real good way. That's the way I've always done my rainbows. Anything really, you just create a bit of a drop in temperature, then it usually triggers the spawning activity. And also the clean water that you put in as well brings fresh water into your tanks. So it's a good time once you've been feeding that, and then 50% water change is basically, it's going to create the drop in temperature and clear out all the food that you've been given for that week. So it's a bit of a win-win for the aquarium hobby, because you're changing the water out that could be going bad. So it works really well. But yeah, I wonder if to just I'm going to move my rainbow fish aquarium camera into my fish room, I think. Let's see if we can get some shots of that. So I'll go into Some Believe, NY Gold. Some believe that when you add lots of brine shrimp, the parent fish see it as good, healthy environment to raise fish, a place where fry can get food. I totally agree with that, 100%, because every time I've fed baby brine shrimp in bulk, I've had eggs of some variety of fish in every single situation. It really works. And also, I think if you've got that sort of drop in temperature, the low pressure and the brine shrimp combined, you're like hitting every base. It's like taking your wife out for a meal, and treating her good. You're guaranteed to see some babies. Yeah, I mean, so give them some brine shrimp, give them somewhere warm and comfy and clean water, and they'll breed. As long as they're happy, they'll be fine. You'll get some breeding activity. That's for sure. Right, I'm going to try and move my other camera, I think. I'm just struggling with my internet. We've just got some new internet. By the way, welcome to the party, NY Gold. I'm absolutely dying of man flu. That's why I sound a little bit hoarse today. But yeah. AK saying thank you for your guidance. Have a great day. No problem at all. If you've got any questions, then feel free to drop a comment on any of my videos or whatever, and I'll try and help you out. I've got loads of breeding videos on my channel as well, AK, if you're checking any of them out, as does many YouTubers. But if you do need out in particular, then let me know. Brine shrimp cold water change before a storm is a triple whammy. Yeah, I think that's what I always look into. That's the way that I've always done it, especially if I know there's a rain coming as well. Low pressure, brine shrimp, cool water change, bang, in the money. Always works, especially with the heavy feeding as well. Heavy feeding up to the storm always seems to. Best thing to do is just get a weather app, I think, and just keep every morning just check what the weather's going to be like. It'll help you out, if you need to take a coat to work or not. And it also helps your fish room out, if you need to do any water changes or not. But yeah, it tends to work out pretty well. Should we take the camera to the fish room? I think I should. I think I should take the camera to the fish room and have a look at the fish room. All my tanks are pretty empty at the minute. That's what I'm thinking. Let's have a look. Can I move it to this camera? Oh no. I don't know how to put it on just that camera. Yeah, just this. Ooh, no, don't remove. Solo layout, this is it. Right, I'm going to try and move my... Yeah, Corys, it works really well for Corys. And a bit of a power head as well. Yeah, I agree. MY Gold, he knows, he's got the facts, he knows what he's doing. Right, let's try and move this camera around. See if we can do it. Right, I don't know if we can try and get... Tell you what I'll do, I'll click it onto this one. For now, I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm going to try and move the other camera to my fish room so I can continue the live stream, but I need to move everything, I think. So I'll try and move that. Yeah. Actually, I'll just put it on the other camera. Go. As you can probably see, I had a massive extension going to it because my battery was low. I wanted to come in the fish room and just have a look. I can't see the comments for 2 minutes while I go in here, guys. Thing. But this is the rainbows. It's a bit sort of algaed up at the minute. These are the rainbows that are going today for sale. So I think there's 80 praycocks in there. So there's quite a few of these guys. Let's try and get a bit of light on them. There's a bit of algae on the glass, as you can see, but they're doing awesome. Really good. So they're going on Monday morning. Then we've got the shrimp tank. These are cherry shrimp that I've been messing around with for a little while. If it's really, really buzzy, by the way, it's because I've got a massive linear piston air pump and it's really noisy. Try and get you a shot of these cherries. Then we've got some more praycocks. Sorry about the algae, guys. I didn't expect to be in the fish room and live, so I haven't cleaned the glass. This one's empty. This one's got some rams in. They like to run away. You see the Paphos now is like properly took over the top of the tanks. It's doing really good though. It's just growing everywhere now, this Paphos. It took me about a year to get it good though. This is the blue tank. This is the Angel Fish Fry 2.0. Hopefully these guys come out all right this time. There's a lot of white eggs in there, so they're not. I don't know if you can see that. They're not fertilized, some of them. There's still tons in between, so I'm holding out hope we can get a few of them guys this time without the heater exploding on me, which were an absolute pain because I had hundreds of them. Hopefully they'll breed more of the angels. A couple of rams here, breeding pair. The air's not off, by the way. There's another sponge filtering corner there. This is the random tank that I need to sort out. I need to sort the whole fish room out, to be honest. Got a couple of tetras, a betta, and some rams in this tank as well. It's looking a bit crazy in here. Needs sorting out. The whole fish room needs sorting out. I haven't been able to do it because I've been really sick. Got some more praycocks in this tank. These are my breeders. So I've got 3 females, 2 males, and tons of spawning mops in there. Again, algae everywhere because the lights are on full beam in this side of the fish room. A breeding pair of some more rams here. These guys are awesome. These are my top breeding pair, retired a pair of these super red germ blue rams a little bit ago. They've gone into my big tank now with my rainbow fish. But they're doing really nice. Super colourful, super healthy. Loads of algae, as we like to do in these tanks. This has got some Praecox rainbows in as well, and this one's got a load of fry, Praecox fry. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. They're absolutely tiny. There's about 200 fry in this little tank here, and then we've got the rainbows, the breeder. I always say rainbows are random, so used to saying it. This has got the angelfish pairing, the breeding pair. Because they're black, they're really hard to catch on camera. So that's the female just at the front, and then the male's just coming up at the back. The camera shy today. These are my zebs or clowns. We're not sure which ones, or maybe a combination of both. But they're doing awesome. Just put some wooden things in there for them. And I've just took a cut into this Paphos as well to put in top of the tank there. Got some more methylene blue water there, and obviously over to the Oscar tank. Here's Ghost, happy as always, with a big smile on his face. I think they want feeding actually. These guys I've been keeping them on a bit of a strict diet. I thought they might have had some parasites, but it turns out they don't. So I'm quite happy with that. And then there's Phantom over here doing his usual stare at the magnet float glass cleaner because he doesn't like it in the tank. I don't know why, but he just absolutely hates it. So does Ghost. If you put it near Ghost, he'll just start going absolutely mental, attacking it and stuff. They just don't like the magnet float for some reason. And Phantom here, just being Phantom. But yeah, so I'll come back onto the camera, guys, and then I'll see you in a second. Quick run back to the camera. Yes, the fish room's doing all right. To be fair, I'm quite happy with it at the moment. It's going pretty good. Hopefully we should get some more fry. NY Gold. I do that for Corys, and I also add a power head for water flow. Yeah, we saw that one, I think. Makes them go nuts, which is entirely true. I'm having trouble breeding Congo tetras. I've tried everything besides RO water. Any tips for me? I have a very, very adult breeding group, about 4 or 5 females to 3 or 4 males. Congos. It's not something I've done before. I'd probably go for. I don't think RO water. You probably get away with some distilled water, maybe. Distilled water, and maybe try and black water the tank with some coconut husk. So you could have like a bare bottom tank with some coconut husk. Are they egg scatters? I can't remember. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. I'd have to look into it a little bit. I've never bred them myself, but they are beautiful fish. Them really nice fish. Yeah. So who have we got in the party still? Hopefully you've all left me a like. Don't forget to share and subscribe. And also, if you really want to help out my channel, you can always become a member. I tried lowering the pH with leaves and no such luck. Yeah, that's the way I'd probably go, NY Gold. I'd go for, I'm assuming there'll be egg scatterers, so I'd probably just put like a little sunken bowl of some description with some coconut husking. Maybe try distilled water to lower the pH, and leaves. They're probably doing exactly what I'd do. And also maybe try raising the temperature up, get it up to, I don't know, 82. 82 Fahrenheit maybe. That could trigger a little bit, and just use the general cool water changes after a couple of weeks. I think Nick from Keep Fish Simple might have a video on the Congo tetras. That might be worth looking at. I'd probably raise the temperature up and try to drop the pH with some distilled water. I'd maybe do a 50-50 mix of tap water dechlorinated, and maybe try some distilled water in there, and the pH obviously as you've done already. I'm sure you're as experienced as I am pretty much, so you know kind of which way to go with it anyway. But yeah, the RO water. I mean, yeah, RO. I know you can buy. I'll catch you soon, Rob. I'll catch you on the next one, hopefully. Yeah, thanks for saying that as well. I'll try and get better. Does your LFS sell it? Because I mean, I can buy distilled water from a local fish store. You can buy it in like a drum of it for pretty cheap. Failing that, I'd go for distilled water. I think you can buy it on Amazon, to be honest. I know you can in the UK. You might even be able to buy it from some sort of grocery shops, maybe. Maybe Google it, just see what you can find online. I know distilled water is near enough RO water anyway. Oh, you found a store that sells RO? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to do that. Maybe just buy some of that and give it a test out. I'd probably do the same thing that we would do in My Gold with the water change. But what I'd do is maybe feed heavily in the normal tap water. Put loads of leaves in or whatever to drop the pH. Put a load of food in for about a week. Then when you do your water change, drop it 50% and then just chuck in the RO water and it'll change the chemistry of it really quick. But that'd probably work. I think that'd be a good solution to that. Because you'd be doing the water change and obviously adding the RO, it's going to dip the pH at the same time as clean water coming into the tank. But I'd monitor the, once you put the RO water in, obviously monitor the pH, because you don't want it to drop too drastically and you end up with like, I don't know, something crazy like 4 pH or something, super acidic water, or you could try and maybe balance it. I don't know, maybe put some coral in there so it's quite hard, and then when you do your water change, the hard water will go from hard water to soft quite quickly. That could work. So maybe take the pH to about 8, and then when you drop the RO in, hopefully it'll take it to about 6.5. So you're not dropping from 7 pH to 4 pH, so it doesn't jump too low. That could work as well. But yeah, just big feeds, cool water change. I'd feed up to the point and then chuck the RO in, maybe get the pH a bit higher than you would normally have it for tetras. Take it maybe at 7.5, touching 8, and then drop the RO in when you do your water change, see if that triggers it. That could work. I'm not trying to kill them, I know. That's the other thing in it, because it could bounce the taking tetras up to like 7.5, 8 risky, and then dropping them down, and it's probably not a good idea. But yeah, right, guys, I'm gonna go. So hopefully you've enjoyed my live stream. I'd be scared swinging the pH. Yeah, it's risky. It's risky. I'd probably do it. I'd do it from tap water and then put the RO in, rather than trying to coral and all that stuff. If you swing it too much, you're right. Probably going to end in tears. Swinging it around like that. But yeah, right. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and hopefully you've enjoyed the live stream. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.